and welcome to the basics. And the basics being the very beginning. So if you already know all about white notes, black keys, white keys, this is not where you should be, because today we'll be discussing finger numbers and notes and where they are on the piano or on the keyboard of the piano. Now, at home you might have an acoustic piano, which is what I have in front of me, or you might have a digital piano or a smaller keyboard. Doesn't really matter. The only thing that's really hard to do is to play the piano without having an instrument. So it is doable to have some notions, but what you want is to get your hands there. So if possible, and your budget is not really very high, get a smaller keyboard. It's quite affordable, I think. The smaller ones, they are not touch sensitive, the cheaper ones, but you get the sense of how your hands will move. Okay, having said that, first thing, try to own a keyboard. The keyboard is this part of the piano, okay? The keys themselves. Now, the reason why we have these raised here, the black keys, and these down here, the whites, is so that we have more keys, so that we can have more of them. Otherwise, if we put them all on the plane, it would be too big and our arms wouldn't reach. So some are here, the ones that we call sharps and flats, the accidentals, so to say, but they are all part of the notes that we use for Western music. There are more notes than what we have on the piano, but being pianists, we don't see them because we don't have access to the strings. They're inside. So whatever happens inside, unless we're playing on a grand piano, we don't have access to that. So either our piano is in tune or it's not. We don't really have control over that. So mine is not particularly in tune right at the moment, but oh well, it'll have to do. Now, beginners. For every kind of keyboard, it'll be the same thing. You have probably noticed you have sets of 2 black keys, sets of 3 black keys, and they always come in the same pattern. 2, then 3, then 2, then 3, then 2, then 3. Okay? So, having said that, that means that if this note is the first of 2 black keys, then the note that follows is the same, only higher. So to this side of the piano, notes are higher or going up. And notes to this side of the piano are lower or going down. That means that in reality, if this note and that are the same, imagine they're called Caterina. This is a Caterina, this is also a Caterina, and so is this. So they share the name, but they keep going higher. Okay? And the only difference is the pitch. They're higher or lower, of course, if we go down. So what do we have then? We have 7 white keys and 5 black keys, times 7 plus a little bit, if you have the full keyboard. Times 7, why do I say that? Well, let's count the groups of 2 black keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So same thing happens for the 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 groups of 2, 7 groups of 3. Stands to reason there will be these 7 white keys that are between them will happen 7 times. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's a plus 1 there. And there are 3 down here that are extras as well to those. So for you, there are 52 whites, 36 blacks. That was a bit unnecessary, but I like saying that. Usually the little ones will definitely count them. So go ahead and count yours. If you have a smaller keyboard, it will probably start on a C somewhere here, or maybe here, and end on a C here. It doesn't matter. It will follow the same logic. 2 black keys, 3 black keys, always the same. How do we find the notes? Now, you may have heard notes with different names depending on where you live. English-speaking people will tend to use A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the first 7 letters of the alphabet, which correspond to the 7 white keys, different white keys on the piano. Well, everybody else uses Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Now, if you're Italian or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever, you will say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si with S. Now, if you're speaking in English, you want to say T, so as not to get confused with the pronunciation of the letter C. That can be confusing because you say A, B, C. So if you say the note La, Si, that would be too confusing. What are you talking about? Is that the note La, Si, or the letter C? So we say T, as in tea for a drink. So do not get confused. Okay. The English, of course, also use do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, but not so much. In songs and in lead sheets, you'll see the letters much more, and for chords as well. Okay, so far so good? Yes? Okay, how do we find them? That's also very easy. You'll find that in all the tutorials in the world, but well, I wanted to leave it here as well. So, finding your C's. Find a group of 2 black keys anywhere you want. Let's say the lowest. And C is right down from that group of 2. So down is to your left side. That's 2 black keys. Down from that, the white key is called a C. Next, that's a C. Next, that's a C. Next, that's a C. Why do we always start with a C? Well, because we have so many songs with C. And there's a thing called the C scale, which I'll teach in a different video. That C scale is very friendly, doesn't have any black keys, so it's easy to play. And the highest note on the piano is a C. Sounds like a little pebble if you throw it, but it is a C. You can tell it's a C, but barely. It's not a B. Not in the family. In the family. Okay, so if you know that that is C, and this is where a lot of people get confused, so it's a good practice. I'll leave you with some practice already. C, right in front of you where you sit, wherever you're sitting, but right in front of you, around the middle of the keyboard, piano, whatever you have, is what we call the middle C, the one that is more suitable for our voice if we are girls, or children, and high if you're men older than boys. Okay, so that is the middle C. Da, the one that I sing here, because da would be too high, and not too high, it's me that high. I have a low voice. And this will be too low for my voice. That's for a man's voice. Okay? So middle C is the one more or less in the middle of the piano. So that's a C. To the left of C is B. So if you think of the alphabet A, B, C, C, B, A. So that can be your first assignment. C, down from C is B, down from B is A. Now remember back when I told you that there are 7 letters, so that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's okay if you go up, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No problems there, right? None whatsoever. But do you remember any time in school when you had to say the alphabet backwards? Well, I don't. So here's your first assignment. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. If you happen to say your notes in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Or in this case, it would be la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Okay, you get the point, right? So it's easy to say them in one direction if it's the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. To play them is the same. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now saying them backwards, not easy. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Then you can do this all the way down the piano. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And again. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And again. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. You'll notice that saying them upwards will be easy. You can use one finger. The pointer finger is A, B, C, D. The lowest note on the piano, if it's a full-size piano, is an A. If you can't find an A, go back to the C. 2 black keys. Down from that, that's a C. C, B, A. Down from C. Careful with that, because a lot of times you confuse the D to that side and the B to that side. It's normal. The letters themselves are similar. So that side D, this side B. C, B, A. Okay, so that's how you find your A, or eventually you memorize its position. That's a group of 3 black keys. 1, 2 black keys. That's A. 1, 2, 3 black keys. 1, 2, A. 3 black keys. 1, 2, A. It's very easy to find them once you know them, but you'll get the hang of it. Okay, so A. Now you're allowed to go up once. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But now you have to go back 3 times at least to make up for that. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Once more. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Write it in a piece of paper if you have to. But very important, and this is really the most important part. Say it aloud. Always say it aloud. Don't just think it, say it. Because one thing is what is in our heads, and another thing altogether is putting it in words. And I know it sounds a bit childish, but it's really, really, really important. So G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Also try and not look so much at the hand while you're doing that. If you already have some dexterity with your fingers, you can use more than just one. Okay, so that was for note naming. Going up, not so bad. So we know how to find C now. We look for a group of 2 black keys. And C is right down from a group of 2. That's your C. If you want to find A, step down. 1 note down is B, 1 note down is A. That's A. Okay. Now let's go up once to the next A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And next note up, A. There's no H. Or there could be, but that's a talk for another day, with a B flat for the German, but that's, let's not worry about that. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? Now let's go down from G, and you know that's going to be harder. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. 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 And so on until you reach the bottom. So if you're really getting really, really, really good, that's very nice. That's what we want. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G. Down from A is G. That's another tough one. Okay. And final thing for the basics. In piano, because we don't have to hold the instrument, obviously, it's a bit too heavy, but that means all our 10 fingers are free to play. And so we number them all. So if you've ever played the guitar, cello, violin, whatever, the thumbs are not numbered 1, they're numbered 0, but not on piano because all our 10 fingers are free to play. And that can be a little confusing because when we place them on the piano, they go opposite ways. So like that, they're very friendly. These are 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. But once we place them like that to play, they go, oh my God, what do I do now? Okay, they're opposite. So remember, if confused, join them, okay? You can do some exercises like play C with your thumb, play B with your 3rd finger, play D with your finger 4, play G with your finger 5, play F with your finger 2. It doesn't matter where, just make up games, have fun, or get somebody to help you do that, or put me in really slow motion as I say that, or I can just write it down in the description for you. Make up games of your own if you're not familiar with the keyboard. It shouldn't be too hard finding the notes, but if you don't know them already, then it can be bleh. Okay, now I hope that solved the issues of how to find notes if you had any, and if you're watching this is because you had issues on how to find the keys. Now, as for notes, and we did talk about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I told you that they're also called by Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, or C in non-English speaking countries, but for the sake of keeping it simple, it's always Ti now, okay? So, when we say Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, we start with Do is a note C. Now, that's also for different reasons that have to do with why this Do, Re, Mi appeared. Comes from a kind of a poem, so to say. And the first word, well, actually it was not Do, it was Ut, but it doesn't matter. Well, the reason why it appeared is long, but the note itself was Do, was C. So it doesn't start on A, but Do is C. So if you want to know the notes, Do is C, D is Re, Mi is E, F is the only one that coincides the letter with the so you may start by that one. F is Fa, G is Sol, La is A, T is C, C is Do. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Do. Do, a deer, a female deer. So Do corresponds to C. Okay? Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. And of course, Do again. So that's two ways of saying the notes, but they're the same. So if you were to start on La, I think I'm confusing this a little bit. Now, hope not. So if you just want to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you just stop on the part of, all right, and A, B, C, D, F, G. If you're curious and you want to know what Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti is, you watch this part. So Do, Re, Mi is C, D, E. A, B, C is La, Ti, Do. F is Fa, G is Sol. Okay? And it's just the same thing with a different name. Oh, cute. I can see the mirror. That's a mirror there, in which I just now realized, you know, I have a mirror there. If you have space at home, you might want to consider that. It's not to check my hair, though. Yes, I should check it sometimes. It's not to check my hair, it's to see if my back, or my students' backs, if that's the case, are straight. Posture is something we need to keep track of, but that will be the subject of many lessons to come, okay? So if there's a subject or a theme or something that you're struggling that you'd like me to talk about, I will. If not, I'll be continuing with my thoughts on what's important to follow. The basics. This is the very beginning foundation. Sit up properly. Do not cross your legs, but I'm really tired today, so that's a nice way of sitting up without making sure I'm not slouching. Find all your keys, have fun, produce different sounds, loud sounds, soft sounds, whatever sounds you want. Remember your finger numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use all 10 of them. And always keep a nice relaxed posture. And I think that's it. Have fun. And I'll see you when I record again. Bye bye.